say stories, things we shouldn't say, but we're gonna laugh about them anyway. Hey, welcome to Glicks Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. With a wild tale to tell, from the road, the stage, or a barroom hell. The crowd's getting loud and the stories get strange. Every single night the chaos rearranges. No scripts here, just the truth and the laughs, and maybe a roast if you cross Glick's path. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa, tell us how it went down. Whoa, at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Late nights, loose minds, stories all around. You're hanging out tonight at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa, tell us how it went down. Whoa, at Glick's Comedy Lounge.
Oh, what's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Jeez, I'll get my days right one of these days. Welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, right here on the Nonsensical Network. If you're not already, go ahead and make sure you guys give us a like, share, and a subscribe. Words are hard tonight. Subscribe. Jeez. You guys can find us everywhere, bio.link/nonsensical network. All them links are there to all the social medias and all the platforms and everywhere you can listen and watch and hang out with us. Real quick, shout out to the Chatters Box. What's going on, Scorpio? What's going on, Wale? Yeah, smash that like, share, and subscribe. And Miss Kayla in the back there, too. It's just some dude. Let's go. Anywho, fresh tonight, it's all about the comedy. That's what we do. We hang out with comedians. I am not a comedian, so to say. I find myself to be pretty funny, but I'm not going to do no stand-up comedy. So I leave that shit to the professionals. I just get to hang out with them. And tonight, fresh off of mom duty, Miss Naomi Green. How you doing?
Good. How are
Welcome.
you?
I know it's like this weird, big Sasquatch looking dude. I'm just going to hang out with him on the internet for a little bit. It's probably not the strangest thing you've ever had to do, hopefully.
No. I mean, you said you're in Ohio?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. What part?
Central Ohio. Like out by Columbus. Are you familiar with the Ohio area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably know the town. Where
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm just a little bit outside of Columbus, but
Yeah,
not too far away, unfortunately.
right. So my husband's originally from Ohio,
Oh yeah, where at?
New Philadelphia, the
Oh,
South.
okay,
Yeah,
I know that.
and then my dad was from Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Hmm.
sounds like everybody got out, so that's a good thing.
My dad and my husband. Everybody else is still there.
I tried to get out. But I got pulled back in. I It's funny. I was setting up an interview with one of my previous guests, and I told her, I got 6 years left on my sentence, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you in prison?" I was like, "Well, Ohio, basically the same thing."
Yeah. No, it is. It is. It's I told my husband when we got married, well, before we got married, that
Mhm.
if he ever tried to move me back to Ohio, because I did my 4 year stint. Okay,
That's enough time.
that was it. That it was divorce. It was non-negotiable. It was he could do anything in the world. I wouldn't care, but he moved me back to Ohio. Papers are ready. I'll stay married to him. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Like that was it. Like that was a nope. That's a hard no.
I like that. I mean, I'm born and raised here. I got out for about 10 years, and unfortunate circumstances brought me back home. And, like I said, I was telling you backstage, once my son graduates, hell, if we had it his way, we'd be back down south now, because he was born in South Carolina. And he's like, I don't want to go back down there. I don't want to be here. Yeah, me either. But
But here we are amongst
yeah,
the corn. It's great.
yeah, it's corn, snow, weather right now can't make up its mind if it's going to give us summer-like weather or winter weather still. I mean, 2 days ago it was in the 70s. Today it's like in the 50s and 40s. Ugh.
Exactly, right? Like people really wonder why, like, because I'm in Rhode Island,
No,
and um, and people are always like, why are New Englanders so I don't know rude?
shut
Like
up.
what's the right turn, and I was like, if you think about it, it's all about the weather out here. It's not consistent enough.
Yeah.
Right, like it, so we're just cranky people, and
Mhm.
in turn we just take it out on everybody, because today is May 6th and it's raining. It was 40 degrees, and my son had to trek me and
Oh, jeez.
wearing a winter jacket because the wind was like 20 miles an hour. So I'm like, all right, underneath the cherry blossoms and the trees, I'm still in my winter jacket. But I really think that's why New England gets a bad rap, because if you
Yeah.
look at the rest of the country, everybody's like generally like in a decent mood.
Yeah.
Even the people like in like like what is it, like Minnesota or like the Dakotas, because it's consistent. It's gonna suck. Right?
Right.
Like you just know that the weather's going to be cold,
Hmm.
colder, and coldest, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, they're happy.
Yeah.
Like
They're just used to it. I don't know if they're happy. No, that's the problem here in Ohio. Our weather is so bipolar. I mean,
yeah,
it don't know what it's doing from
mm-mm,
one day to the next.
no,
So,
no, and like where my dad was originally from and where we lived up in Ohio was the northwest part, so it was real flat.
oh yeah,
And trying to explain to my students that in the wintertime we'd have delays based on how cold it was in the wind because frostbite, and they're like, what's that? And I'm like, exactly.
exactly.
or
Yeah,
or fog delays.
yep.
They don't understand what a fog delay is. They're like, why do you have a fog delay? I was like, well, think about this. You're trying to drive on a country road, but it's corn
Mhm.
everywhere. It's foggy.
And it's foggy, and it's probably fall,
Yeah.
and you don't know, the lovely deer that we have in Ohio. I mean, any of
Oh,
my friends that are hunters out there from other states, I know you guys love coming up here because we got some of the biggest, ugliest, nastiest deer up here, and they like to jump out in front of cars.
yeah.
So,
There's no sense. They're just like, ooh, look, lights. Ding.
yeah,
If you're not like you can't say you're not from Ohio if you don't know somebody personally that's hit a deer,
Oh,
right? Like, and it's always like I was just coming home from like Walmart, or wherever, and it's just like
yeah,
you're just kinda
and
like, okay,
the insurance, we actually have a thing here in Ohio. We don't hit deers. The deers hit us.
yeah,
That's how you file your insurance claim. The deer hit you.
hmm
Because
I
if you hit
mean,
a deer, they're like, well, you're SOL.
yeah, it's like I didn't see it; it's on me.
Right? No, it's an interesting state for sure.
Mhm.
It's one of those you love it or you hate it. There's really no kind of in between. And I mean,
Yeah,
it's not because there's lack of things to do. There's whether you're into sports or nature or history or whatever your thing is, cryptids. There's plenty to do in Ohio.
yeah,
It's, the weather sucks. It's terrible.
yeah. No, that's for real. Like the only thing I would say with my husband is because he was in and grew up around like Amish country, so going out to Sugar Creek just to get like beef and noodles and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I grew up in Knox County, up not too far from. I mean, all my neighbors were. Most of my neighbors were Amish back home, so it was like I had that luxury. I didn't have to go to Amish country to get all the good food and stuff like that because we just go. And I worked for the Amish for a few years when I was younger, so I
Mhm.
got all that good food all the time.
Right. So this is the crazy thing. My husband was in the Navy. Uh,
Okay.
he's 100%. I hate saying it now because I hate that everybody uses 100%, but he's 100% disabled vet now.
Oh,
Uh, he can work, but for VA purposes,
yeah.
he has a disability rating of 100%. And we were stationed in Guam, and I was pregnant, and I really, really was craving the beef and noodles.
Good luck with that.
So, like, my family in Ohio, I love them. They were like, "What can I do?" And my grandma, she would make beef and noodles, but she would buy. Did you ever buy the beef in the can?
I can't say that I don't know that I know anybody that has. To be honest with you, ours
So,
is homemade.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, but when she needed when didn't have enough time or whatever, she would buy this beef in a can, and I forget what it's called now. Oh Lord,
I
but
don't think I've ever bought beef in a can.
yeah, but it was up in Arlington, Kinney area. I think it was just up there,
Hmm.
like it was a specialty thing, and and they shipped me a few pounds
Nice.
of the beef, and then they went to Amish country and bought me noodles. Like,
Nice. That's awesome.
and,
That's good. That's good family, right?
because I was like, I need it. My husband's like, we're on an island in the middle of the Pacific, and I was like, but
Right. But I need it. I want it. Those pregnancy cravings aren't no joke, man. I went through it 3 times myself, and I got the 2 o'clock in the morning rollover wake up. Hey, I want blah blah blah. Whatever. It was like, oh, thank God, Walmart's 2 minutes from the house.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, we didn't have Walmart on the island. We have Kmart. Like, still, it's probably the last Kmart ever.
I was gonna say, yeah.
They still
I don't.
did the blue light specials, like,
Do they
yeah,
still have the what is it, slushies in the little food court? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was like the coolest Kmart I've ever been to because Guam caters to Japanese tourists,
Hmm.
and Japanese tourists love to buy. You have to buy thank you gifts for everybody,
Oh, jeez.
and little gifts, little chocolates, souvenirs, whatever.
Mhm.
So the Kmart specialized in all of that for the
Nice.
for the Japanese. So it was this weird. like mix of like American stuff, but then specifically Guam merch for the Japanese, like packaged very nicely, and it was like 10 to 20, whatever. Because I mean, there's so many people you're buying for, because you have to buy like a thank you gift if you're working, like for all of like your your boss, your coworkers, your family. It's insane. Like you come with a suitcase that's half empty, but you're leaving but full. It's it's
that's
yeah. But like when you get married in Japan, you get they gotta pay you money too. They give you money. So
that sounds like a New Yorker thing, And when you get married, they just give you an envelope.
yeah. But then you gotta say thank you, and you gotta kind of pay back part of the money or something like that. I don't know. I know when I got married, my mom, because I'm half Japanese.
Okay.
I'm a Asian, if you know what that means. White Asian.
Well, yeah, that's a white Asian, right?
Yeah. I am not the cool Blasian, because then I would never age. I would still look like I'm 15. It would be amazing.
Yeah,
like, I'm envious of my Blasians. I really am. I was like, oh, you've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, the best of both worlds. Unfortunately, us whiteies, we just age. I mean, unless you got good genes, I don't know. I mean, other than that, we age pretty rough.
I know it's gonna catch up with me. Like I'm gonna wake up one morning and I'm gonna be like, poof! Like I'm gonna be like the old white woman. We're like, I know it's sad, but like I always refer to my husband as like my living, walking Dorian Gray, because I'm not aging nearly as fast as that man. And
yeah.
I don't want to say that it's me that's causing him to age.
I used to be married once upon a time.
Did you age quickly too? Did you go through the age accelerator?
No, it was more. I started aging real quick, probably about the time my oldest daughter hit the teenage years. So I was in my 30s before I started going gray, and then it just started happening. And it's like, oh man, why can't it just? Yeah, at this point, I just want my hair to be all gray and my beard to be all gray and just be done with it.
Right.
But no,
stop with this slow.
No, I think the being married once upon a time definitely aged me a few years, but having teenage daughters have aged me a lot in the last few years.
Yeah. So. No, my husband and we've been married 23.
Oh wow.
So, yeah,
that's like 60 for him in marriage years.
Yeah, that poor, he goes through the ringer. He really does. And like he can't even complain, because at this point it looks like he's married a younger woman.
There you go, and that's kind of the thing now.
Yeah, So I was like, dude, you're fine. You're fine, my man. Like, all right, like I look much younger than I am. I mean, being 29 again is really hard, but it's just that's just how old I am. I don't have a say in how old I am. I'm just 29 again, and
I've been 21 for the last 24 years.
Yeah,
so.
It just happens.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's really funny to me how being married just does good things for you, and then not so much like the wrinkle. That's my husband's. I won't even get Botox. I might get Botox on everything. I haven't, but I was like, this stays, because that man needs to. Because if he can't read my face, he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know what's happening anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
it's safer for guys to never know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's better that we live in our own little world 9 times out of 10 and are oblivious to everything.
But like, I really feel like the women who just Botox and just have no expression, the reason why they're single, right? Because the man is like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah,
like, but I'm angry, right? But if you can't do a good, like,
just a disappointed face, just
If he doesn't see this every day, like, how is he supposed to know I love him?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that, or that's when you know how your day's going to be. Do I spend the day in the garage, or am I welcomed in the house? So,
Neither. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're never going to win.
yeah, exactly. That's the truth.
You sit down on the couch.
Yeah, just
You
sit
really
there.
think your life you should be doing? Is that what you're supposed to be doing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like my husband, like 2 weeks ago, he's gonna be. I don't even know if he's watching. I hope not. But he's like, you've been telling everybody this. I was like, because this is like, one, it's just funny, and as a comedian, how can I not like tell people this? So 2 weeks ago, he's like, come to the bedroom. It's the middle of the day. I was like, no. No. Like, all the kids are home, the house is a mess, and he's like, just come to the bedroom. And I was like, dude. Why? He's like, just come here. I need you to I just need you to show you something. And I was like, why can't you just show me in the kitchen? Right? Because I'm whatever. And he's like, he shuts the door, and I haven't even like gone into the full room, right? I'm just like at the door. He starts pulling his pants down. I was like, dude, what are you doing? But it's his back towards me. Right? Yeah. So all of a sudden, he just kind of like lowers his pants a little bit, and he's like, is there a tick?
Nice. Just all that, and
I was like, yes, yeah. Actually, there's one right on your ass, dude.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I thought so, and I was like, you thought so? You thought so? You could have taken a photo with your camera. I was like, I don't want to see your ass. Nobody wants to see that.
Well, I mean, you've been married 23 years. Men are simple creatures, and it's not always the brightest at the end of the day.
I know. He's like 3 French fries short of a Happy Meal. So, like, I pull the tick out, head still intact, because I've become an expert at this. Believe it or not, you can hunt in Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. And my husband has turned to be a guide hunter. And yeah, so he takes people out hunting and does the thingies, and I do nothing. So it was not the first time I've taken a tick off of him, but it was that first time that I had to take one off of his ass.
Yeah.
So, but he just bought, he and partners what is it? A high fence hunting, right? Yeah. Where it's like an exotic farm. I don't know. He knows the terms. But anyway, so you just hunt things in a fenced in area.
Oh, okay.
Because, but you can have like different types of animals that you wouldn't be able to hunt just in the wild because of how the licensing or whatever the hunting is. And you can hunt year round. So you're not within this like seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's up in Finger Lakes in New York.
Oh, wow.
Up there. I say he's in Canada, but
it's basically Canada. Let's be honest.
I mean, it's like 2.5 hours from Canada, which is closer. He's closer to Canada than he is to Rhode Island. So I just am like, you're in Canada. But he's up there, and he comes home like a week after the tick incident, right? And he was like, so I have to go to the VA. I was like, oh, really? Why? He's like, because I got that bullseye rash. He's like, okay. I was like, that's fine. I just apologize to the doctor.
Yeah.
That's not what they want to see. They see a lot of
they're probably used to it at this point. Yeah. They've seen worse.
Yeah. I don't know. You haven't seen my husband's ass.
Nice.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
As for a white guy, he's got a very large butt. It's impressive. Impressive.
Nice.
Like, it's one of those, like, you know, women are not, like, they like tight. I think, like, we like more athletic, tight butts, you know? My husband, he's not that. He's not that. Like, I'd be more worried not about, like, single women or married women, about, like, gay men who have always commented on how nice his ass is.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm kind of jealous because I want them to look at me.
Nice. I wouldn't even do anything.
You know, and they're cute. They're so cute. They're adorable. I love them. And then they're like, your husband's got a nice ass. I was like, hello. And then they're like, but your shoes are gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. You got your props too. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe
Exactly.
you want the light on? Oh, okay. Sorry. My girlfriend's over here. She's like writing in a notebook, and I turn the light off so that my actual ring lights work, and I'm not more like just a bright fluorescent creature here. So
no, but like, so he got on the antibiotics, but he's got to wait, I think, till this week to actually get tested for Lyme.
Oh, jeez.
Right. So he was home for like a week, and he was like, I'm kind of tired, and he had the audacity to like try to lay down.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you know the rules. You can't just lay down. He's like, but I might have Lyme. I was like, but you might not. And you're on antibiotics. You're fine. Suck it up. Because if this is going to be like man flu, we're going to have problems.
That's no joke. The man flu is no joke. That is near death experience. We never know if we're going to pull through or not at the end of the day.
No, my nose hurts. Can you buy the Puffs lotion? It's like, oh my God.
It's funny to me, you know, I go to work, I got a blue collar job, and my body hurts every day. My back hurts, my shoulder hurts, my knee hurts, this hurts, that hurts. I'm fine. You know, I'm exhausted. I haven't slept for, I don't know, you know, how many days, you know, whatever. I'm fine. But the slightest little sniffle, game over. I'm getting my will in order. I'm contacting family and friends. Like, I don't know. This might be it. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. He's just like, I feel awful. I'm like, I too have the flu, but I am up and moving.
Yeah, but it's not the man flu. It's totally different.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, we don't ask to get babied a lot, but when we're sick and we got that, you know, we could. This could be the last time you see it. Yeah,
I just feel like it just got worse every time we had another kid. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, like I need the attention. Like all of the attention are on the tiny humans. The big human.
Yes, we are big babies when we get sick. This is true. I know. I try not to be, but I'm just like, just let me go die. I'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll just drink some more Dayquil, NyQuil.
Yeah.
All the quills.
all the quills. So
all the quills. Yeah.
I want to ask you, obviously this is the big question. How long have you been doing comedy? It's kind of a two-part. How long have you been doing it? And what possessed you to be like, you know what? I'm going to get up on stage and tell jokes to a bunch of drunk weirdos.
Yeah. Isn't that not the truth? I've been doing this for about 6 years on and off.
Oh.
Life happens and I take time off and then come back and then life happens again. But I just, after having the fourth kid,
Mama needs a break.
I did. And I needed to go to a place where they couldn't come with me legally. And open mics are usually at a bar.
Yeah.
And
kids allowed.
No kids allowed. And if you bring a kid to a bar, people really look at you weird. So
I mean, it's normal in Ohio that people bring kids to bars. So I mean,
true. But you know, it was like I want to do something for myself. I need to get out. and I want to try something new. I had moved around a lot because my dad was in the Navy, and with my husband being in the Navy, I just have a morbid sense of humor anyway. You
That
know,
usually helps.
and then I think I love the idea that it's just you
Mhm.
being original as an artist, right? Because I I love like going to open mics because you have to really hear people
Mhm.
try out their own material, right? So the biggest thing is like if you go to like coffee bars or whatever and people are singing, they get to do covers, right?
Mhm.
They don't have to make original music. And then if it is, a lot of people don't want to listen to original music. They want to hear music that they know, right?
Mhm.
But with comedy, if you take somebody else's material, uh,
That's so bueno.
that is like a hard no, right? Like that's a hard no.
You will not
Uh,
be doing comedy for very long.
yeah. So, and I find that out of everything of being any type of artist,
Mhm.
comedy is the one where you really have to be um, the most authentic, the most real, because you can be influenced by comedians,
Mhm.
and I think for me, I'm half Japanese, half American, and so when I was growing up, to kind of give you an idea of my age, Margaret Cho
Oh,
was
okay.
up and coming. She was the first, like,
She was great.
yeah, and like her sitcom American Girl, like
Mhm.
just to see an Asian face
Mhm.
be funny.
Yeah.
It was I didn't see it. I hadn't seen that before, right? And I just loved her, and then I saw her in a stand-up show for the first time. Like I was in my early 20s with my husband. He hadn't really known who she was,
Yeah.
and he had come back from sea because he was on submarines. So he had done a deployment, come back, and I was like, "Hey, we're going to this show," and he was like, "Okay." He didn't really know that we're like going to be like going to a show with like fabulous looking, gay men like everywhere. They're just so pretty. And he was like, "Wait, what is this? Like, what is happening?" And I was like, "Oh, she's got a huge following of these very cute guys." Because he was like, "There's a lot of guys like." And I think he was just like he was not prepared for how fabulous these men were looking.
Yeah.
After he had just come back from sea looking all scruffy and very, very pale.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
you know, he wasn't his best self. But
Right.
yeah, I absolutely, I adore her. I adore her. And then I love Carol Burnett. She's another one of my top,
It's just one of the
absolute top.
original
Yeah.
females in comedy that just did everything.
Yeah. Just the physical comedy of her,
Mhm.
just how she's able to use her body for comedy, her face, all of that. And I remember my sister and I'm a twin, and I forget how old we were. I know we're in our teenage years. We got tickets to go see. She's a huge Christian Slater fan. Like anyway, so
Yeah, back in those days, Christian Slater was huge,
yeah,
especially
but he had
especially
done
for teen.
an off Broadway show.
Oh wow.
And I know, and she dragged me to it. That was our birthday gift. It was not the gift I wanted, but my parents were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you can go."
Yeah.
And so we waited backstage for him to come out to sign the autograph, right? And we're waiting, and then Carol Burnett comes out. Of all the people, like
Wow.
she was in the audience, and she'd watched it. She's able to go backstage, not a problem. And then she just comes out like the actor's back door, and I about fell over And I know I think I was like 19 at the time, but I probably looked like I was 12. And I'm 5'3". So I mean, like, and she is tall. So I probably look like, like this little like middle school kid. And I was like, get over here. She's like,
Yeah, what?
what? Like, and like, my twin and I. So it's like twins looking at you like,
Yeah. Hey,
it's very surreal. It was like the weirdest moment ever, but it was like the coolest. Like, oh my god, I just met my hero. That I was not expecting to meet my hero moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so that birthday gift worked out to be pretty good.
Oh my god! After that, I was like, that was the best. I was like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, such a phenomenal thing. And then Eddie Izzard, like, love him. Well, actually, he's changed his name now. So, but yeah, just fantastic. I mean, I still quote like "kick or death." Like, it's just one of my kick or death. I even like that's how I talk to my kids now. Like, kick or death. They're like, why? I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna have to listen. We're gonna have to listen.
Yeah, we got to introduce you. We got to educate you.
Yeah, and I love Joe Coy. Like, he's Filipino American, just so funny, just so much. What I honestly love about him is how he highlights the Filipino life, but also just Americans and the difference of being mixed. Because I didn't see a lot of mixed comedians, Asians. So to hear his things, his stories, his sets about like living in the two worlds and trying to find that place between the two happy mediums. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. And then I was like, oh wait, I have Filipino friends. That's true too. So yeah, I do. I love just watching comedy. Sometimes, like, I may not remember all of the names, but like if I see their picture, I never forget a face. That's like the worst part about me is that when I see your face, I will always remember your face.
I have that same problem. I'm terrible with names, but I know faces.
Yeah, and like, but it's like if I have an interaction with you, even if it's fast, like at the like grocery store or the mall or whatever, I will remember your face. So if I see you somewhere, I'm gonna be like, oh, I know you, and then I'll be like it's so annoying because my kids are like, that's so weird, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
I'm terrible with names. I've had people come up to me, out and about and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" Trying to, I know the face and I know that I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't remember their name. And 9 times out of 10, because what my mouth's not saying, my face is always saying. At the end of the day, so they're like, "You have no idea who I am." It's like, no, I do. I just don't know your name.
Yeah. Well, I have like I'm a full-time substitute teacher, so I consider myself like Robin to the teachers as Batman.
Nice.
Right? So like Batman is super serious. He got the clothes, the voice. He's all black, everything. Like he gets it. He gets it. Like you dress the part, right? Yeah. Robin, on the other hand, comes out and is like, I'm gonna wear neon, like green and yellow tights, and I'm gonna be like, where are you going, Robin? Or Batman? You know what I mean? So like, he's just like it's like,
what is happening?
Yeah, and that's me. That is me every day at school. I am the Robin. I'm just out there. And the teachers are so calm, cool, and collective, and I'm usually the one that's getting kidnapped, and somebody's got to come save me.
Nice. What do your students think about you being a comedian, or do they know?
So this is really funny. So my school is a preschool, so 3-year-olds up to 3rd graders.
Okay.
And the kids will start telling jokes to each other, but it'll be like jokes from the applesauce, like at the bottom of the applesauce pouch, or they'll get a joke book out, or they'll just tell jokes in class when they're not supposed to be talking.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, that's great, except you can only tell jokes if you get paid. And I get paid to tell jokes, so nobody else is allowed to tell jokes. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm a comedian. And they're like, because they don't, some of them get it, some of them don't, right? But then I'll show them a picture of me on stage with a mic, and they'll be like, wait, you do tell jokes? I was like, yep, I do. Like, that's my life. I use all of you as my material.
Yep, exactly. I have a guy that I graduated high school with who is a high school teacher. He's also a stand-up comedian. And a long time back when we first started doing podcasting and whatnot, he came on and he was talking about that. He's in high school. He's got juniors and seniors. So they do stuff, and then they'll tell him, you're not allowed to use this because you can't make fun of us, and they know that he's going to. So.
Well, yeah, and like that's the best part is that like sometimes I'm only at one school, but one time I had gone up to the high school for a few days because they needed some extra hands, and it's really interesting because at the lower levels the kids are super lovey. They love everybody, like they love all the teachers. You're the best. I love you. Can I give you a hug? And I'm like, of course, And at the high school, you're like invisible. And again, because I'm short, so many of them can't even see me anyway. Or I just blend in with the crowd. And, and I would just remember one time I was standing in the front of the room, waiting for all the kids to come into the class. And they're just like talking away. And they just get their Chromebooks out. Because now in the middle school and high schools, you don't teach, you just are a body in there because there has to be somebody, and you just tell them, hey, open up your Chromebooks, your lessons, your work is all there, your teacher's going to look at it. So they didn't even like acknowledge me, like none of them said hi to me, none of them asked, like nothing, they didn't even say anything to me. Wow. So I was like, okay, hi, I'm Mrs. Green. Chromebooks out, do your homework, whatever. Whatever your teacher assigned. I was like, I don't even know what this class is, so don't ask me. Yeah, right. Right. So then this one kid in the back, I don't know if he just didn't think I wasn't paying attention or I didn't know what I was doing. He gets his phone out, and this is what he does. He's like this, and he's all like, and I'm like, and I can see like, he took a photo of himself, right? Because he was like trying to find the right angle. Yeah. But nobody was paying attention to him because he was in the back of the class. But I can see him clearly. Yeah. So instead of saying put your phone away, I just said you might need to use a filter. Nice. And the other kids start looking around because they're like, what? And he has his phone still up in the air. This is what made this priceless. He's the only one who had his phone out. Yeah. So he's like this, and he's like, and I was like, filter. I was like, you just took a selfie? Yeah. Like, and I'm like, no. You need a filter. Whoever you're going to send that to, you need that. The face auto tune. Yeah. The kids were like, oh, because they were like, oh, she's coming in hot. Like they've never, I'm going nuclear on these kids.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's all.
so, but because boys will be boys, and this was a boy, mind you,
Yeah.
that did this, um, they can't learn. So, like, and this is in the same class. So, a few minutes later, these two boys thought, wouldn't it be fun if we just punched each other in the dick? Just
Yeah, we do
like,
that.
and trying to make it like I can't see or I can't. Nobody's gonna notice this,
Hmm.
okay? Because they are sitting in the back, and well, one of the punches landed and landed hard.
Oh man.
So this kid, like, bends over. I can already see like he's got little tears, right? But he's trying to be quiet because now he doesn't want anybody to know
Yeah.
that he just got punched in the dick. So then I say, an ice pack from the nurse will help that. And all the kids again, like, look up. There's like 25 kids in this class. Look up and start looking around. And then they realize they see this kid. And I was like, would you like to go to the nurse right now for an ice pack and tell the nurse why you need an ice pack? Or would you like me to call down to the nurse right now for you? And he was like, no. He just couldn't talk because he was in so much pain. And I was like, just remember, hands to self. Because it's just like, and after that, I didn't have any more stupid in the class because they realized I really am going to call you out. I have no chill, chill. Like just like in middle school, I had to sub in a middle school class, like 6th grade boys or like kids, but again, it's the boys, and they were arm wrestling, and there's a no arm wrestling policy anyway. So
That's a policy to have. There's a
yeah,
reason.
I think somebody had like actually injured their shoulder or something.
I
Like,
believe it. I was once a 6th grade boy. I know.
Yeah.
I know the shit we did.
yeah, right.
I know the dumb shit we did in high school. I mean, we used to have body to body matches, boxing matches in the locker room, and just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. But like, so these two boys are just wrestling. I had told them a few times, like, to knock it off, like, do your work, cut it out. So then they didn't listen. So I was like, all right, this is where, this is why comedy works so well for teaching kids. And I was like, all right, guys, you got to stop holding hands. And now, like, the whole class looks up and they're like, we're not holding hands. So you're arm wrestling because arm wrestling means you have to go down to the principal's office.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either you're holding hands or you're arm wrestling. Which I'm confused at this point. I can see you like this. Hand in hand together means holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
So are you holding hands or arm wrestling? They just tried so hard to like talk it out. I was like,
yeah. At that point, I'm just taking that. I'm just taking the heat for the arm wrestling because I'm not going to be known as the guy that was holding another guy's hand for the next 6 years of my life in school.
Yeah, because that's the best thing. And then another one of the kids, I had said something else, and it was like got the kids laughing. They're like, Alistair, that's my son. They're like, he said you're a comedian, and I was like, I am, and I would tell you jokes, but you guys are the jokes. So go back to work. Because that's the best part about middle school is you can roast kids.
Yeah.
Like, you can roast them in middle school and high school. The elementary schools, you can't quite do that, but
I mean, you can. My kids. I grew up in Thunderdome, so my kids have grown up in Thunderdome. I mean, we fuck with each other constantly, and I've been doing it since they were little.
Yeah.
My middle one, she's mean. She bullies me, and she'll hit me with drive-bys. Like
my 15-year-old is like that too. Because he's taller than me. He's like 5'10" now.
Uh,
He's like, he calls me, what does he call me? Like a fragile. He doesn't say fragile. He calls me like a fragile tiny baby. He's like, you're just a fragile tiny baby. And I was like, dude, I will hurt you. You know?
sounds like my mom. My
Yeah.
mom was like 5'5", something like that. And at my son's age, I was already 6'2", and she's like, I don't care if I have to stand on a chair. I will beat your ass.
Yeah. Like my one son, my 12-year-old, he asked me he was like, oh man, I want to say he was like 7 or
Mm.
something. Once they started realizing that they were going to be taller than me, like all of the kids, right? He was
Mhm.
like, oh, he's like, you're going to be the shortest one in the family. Does that make you the youngest? No, no. Just because I'm shorter does not mean I'm younger than you. I'm still your mom. You know? Because now they just think now that they're taller than me, they can do what they want.
Mm. I don't
No,
think I don't think I have to worry about that. The kids' mom, yeah, all three of my kids are taller than their mom, but she's 5 foot on a good day. So
yeah, no way. I was like, I think you forget. I am half Japanese. I have the flick of the wrist. Like I call it the Asian love tap for a reason. It's not abuse. It is the Asian love tap. So then, like my youngest, I love him to death, but he is shaking that stir like the rest of them, and he's just he's like, can I give him the Asian love tap? I was like, no, you may not give anybody else the Asian love tap. That is only a mother thing to
yeah,
do. The only one out of the 4 of you who will be able to do the Asian love tap is your sister. It is passed down from mother to daughter. And I was like, and not to mother to son. It's like, this is not how the Asian love tap works. Like,
yeah.
but
No, moms have their own unique special abilities. Sometimes it's culture related, and dad's about all we have. And eventually, kids grow. Well, I don't think they really do. We have the dad voice, and that's about all we get.
yeah, yeah. Because then it's like, all right, I'm done.
Mm.
You talk to your son. It's never, only, they're only mine when they're good.
Yeah.
Excellent. My daughter just made National Honor Society, and I was like, thank you. But but here's the thing, like all of my kids are super smart,
Mm.
and I'm not just saying that because I'm Asian.
I,
Like, you know, I'm not a tiger mom by any means because I am American, so it's not going to work. I'm more like a little hybrid. But it's funny because I have dyscalculia, which is if you're not familiar with it. So most people know what dyslexia is with letters, but dyscalculia is numbers.
okay.
Where most people are like, oh, I'm bad with numbers. I'm always like, that's cute. Because it's not that, like, yeah, you could be bad with numbers, but with dyscalculia, it's the same premise as dyslexia. Like you flip numbers,
Mm.
you read them wrong, or you hear numbers wrong. Like I can't hear a phone number and type it
Mm.
quickly, right? Like if we were to exchange numbers, I would literally be like, okay, you said 4, and I'd accidentally hit 5. Like I don't know how many times I have like taken a phone number down and wrote the number wrong because of just how my brain processed. Thank goodness for the iPhone and the little kiss that it does to other phones. Because I
Yeah.
was like, can my phone kiss your phone? And they're like, what are you talking about? Because people of a certain generation don't realize that your phones can kiss. That's what I like to call it. Because it does is like the little sound and the vibrate and like there's a little image when the phones connect and you can share like your phone number or whatever your contact information.
Mhm.
So I was like, can we kiss? When I'm up to guys, can I kiss your phone?
Somebody get the crazy short lady, please.
Yeah. Because it's just, I mean, either way, it sounds awkward. Like, can I touch your phone? Can our phones, like, do you have, like, you know what I mean? I just find, like, calling it, can I kiss your phone
it works.
It works.
I didn't even know that was the thing phones could do.
Yeah. So it works wonders for me because then I don't have to take the number. Yeah. And the best part is a lot of people like you don't realize their phones can kiss. Yeah. So I'm like,
I'm the smart one here.
For once. Usually I'm not. So
I feel your pain. I'm just a big animal fumbling my way through life at this point in time.
Right, because like every like teacher parent meeting, they're like, "Oh, your kids are doing exceptional. Look at like, you know," and it's always like this Forrest Gump moment with me. You know, like when Forrest meets his son for the first time, and he's like, "Is he smart?" I'm always like, "Are you sure?" You know, and but yeah, because it's and being Japanese, we have to be humble, right? Yeah. We can't brag about stuff. And when people are like, "Oh, your daughter's so smart," I literally am like, you know, not really, because I grew up with my mom, people telling her stuff all the time, and this is how I grew up, just with an Asian mom. People would be like, "Oh, your daughters are so beautiful," right? And my mom would be like, and then she'd look at us and go, "I don't know why people say that. You're just my daughters."
Thanks, Mom.
You know, and then I think that one of the funny things that she would say is when my daughter was young and like in elementary school, 1st and 2nd grade, she was doing well. Like I was just proud, right? Like, oh my gosh, she's doing great. My mom was like, "Oh, it's so sad," and I was like, "What can possibly be sad?" Yeah. She was like, "Oh, that being smart skipped a generation."
Jesus.
But I was like, "Mom, I have a learning disability." And she was like, "But it still skipped a generation."
Thanks, Mom.
You know, and I came home one year in high school. And I was like, you know what? I'm a genius, Mom. Because back then it was when you had to give your parents a report card, right?
Oh yeah.
So I was like, "Mom, I'm a genius, and I'm going to prove it to you." I was like, "Take a look at my report card. You're going to see, you're going to finally acknowledge I am a genius." Right? So she's like looking at it, my dad's looking at it, and they're like, "Okay, you got an A, you got a B, you got a C, a D, and an F. How are you a genius?" I was like, "Who else can get all of the letters in one report card?" Nobody. That is genius level. I was like, "That's genius."
Yeah, right. You know? Nailed it.
I was like, "Mom," and like even when I tell teachers, like my teacher friends, like that I came home with this report card, they laugh, and then all of a sudden they think about it and they're like, "Wait, how did you do that?" Because most kids are like A, B, B, C, you know, like you fall into a category. You don't hit every wicket.
Yeah, it's just like, right down the special needs ladder you went.
Because I'm a secret genius. That's you know, I was like, I have a talent, but nobody appreciates my talent. And I just want other kids to know that you too can be a secret genius.
Yeah, you too.
You know, and I like to tell my students that. I was like, it's okay, because you too can be a public school teacher.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm just not certified as a substitute, all you need is a degree. So I'm not actually certified to be a real teacher, but they let me in there anyway. So
They let you in their little club anyway.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
like
they do. Like I just I love that I'm able to do things that other teachers can't, right? Because of the union and the contracts and all of those things. And they're like, you really need to get an email. And I was like, absolutely not.
yeah.
They're like, why don't
I
you
get
want
to be the cool teacher. I get to be the fun teacher, you
Yeah.
know.
And I was like, one, emails mean they can find you. I was like, I am not to be found.
Yeah.
Two, emails mean that parents can find you. I want no part of that.
I'm just part time here. I don't have to spend every single day with the same demon children.
I mean, like, and they'll have staff meetings. I don't go to all staff meetings, but I do like to walk through the all staff meeting as I'm leaving for the day and
Nice.
just wave, like that queen wave,
Yeah. Have fun. Enjoy.
And then, like, you see them carrying their bags of all of their things, and for school, and I just have my purse and my lunchbox.
I just show up, you know.
I'm just here. I show up, I do my thing,
Yeah.
and then I leave. Like that's the best part of my job. Like, I take nothing home and I bring nothing to school. It honestly, I tell people all the time, I was like, if you need like a job but can't commit because whatever, subbing is the best job for you, because you get to rile those kids up, get them crazy, get them excited. I mean, because I was never formally went to school to teach, I had to teach first graders about parallels, and it was only the second day they were learning that the teacher was out, so she left me, the plans.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, parallels are lines that do not touch. Okay? I was like, do it with me. We're going to learn Vogue. Okay, everybody? We're going to Vogue it out, and we're going to Vogue to parallels. All right? So Vogue, 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 and Vogue. So I had them all standing. I found the instrumental version of Vogue, by the way, because I didn't want to play the lyrics and get in trouble.
It might be a little too risky.
Yeah, can't play the original Madonna video, blah blah blah. So, but I did. We listened to Vogue and we Vogued it out. I was like, parallel, parallel, parallel. So when the teacher came back the next day, I was like, hey, class went well. Nobody understood what parallels were, but don't worry, I got you because I did Vogue. And she was like, you did not. And I was like, I did. I was like, this is what happens when they don't have certified substitute teachers.
Yeah.
You just think outside the box, and because nobody said not to do it that way, I did it that way, right? Like,
yeah, you're an absolute wild card.
I am. All the kids know that Wednesdays are unofficial Disco Wednesday. So whatever class I am in, we play disco music, and we have to dance disco. So if you're coming past that whatever classroom I'm teaching, we are doing disco, and everybody's like, "What is happening?" And the kids are like, "It's unofficial Disco Wednesday."
Captain Chaos is in the building.
Yeah, I mean, there's things, when you're short, you have to improvise so much in your life, and that's what it is.
I wouldn't know. I've looked like a Sasquatch since I was 12 years old. So
yeah. That's why, your best friends are the short girls. I have to go to the grocery store. You want to come with me?
Yeah. That's the biggest inconvenience I have if I'm in the grocery store. Hey, can you reach that for me? Yeah.
I know. My husband's 6'3", and he's like, do you want me to get that? And I was like, no, John. I was like, the point of going to the grocery store is that this is an obstacle course, okay? And
you're training for American Ninja.
Yeah, and that's all I'm doing. Yeah, I want to know, can I get it? And what can I use in this aisle to get that top thing without knocking everything over? All right.
Without becoming a spectacle in the grocery store.
Exactly. Because what annoys me the most is like if we happen to split up, because you know how it is sometimes when you shop with your significant other, you're supposed the rule is you're supposed to stay together, right? Like you see this all the time. The couples stay together. They're not to wander, right? You got to stay together because the man's got to push the cart. I'm not pushing the cart. Have you ever seen a real one? No. That's again, there's rules, right? But then sometimes he side quests and doesn't tell me, or most likely it's me side questing. But that's not the point. The point is, I will be trying to get something, and there's like we go to the commissary a lot, which is the military grocery store. So there's sailors just walking, and they're always so sweet. They always ask if they can help. Well, then John just rolls up behind me and gets like, if you didn't know he was my husband, because we don't even look like we should be married. Like that's how opposite kind of we are, because we haven't gotten to that matching couple look yet. And I hope to never get to that point, because that is not something I want to be like trying to look like. But like, he'll just come up and reach behind me, but he's so close, or he's like on me, and like people are like, don't realize that that's my husband, so they think I'm about to be assaulted.
This tiny little Asian's about to be assaulted by this giant.
Yeah, this giant white man with his big old butt. And like, and I'm like, and I don't help matters because I don't actually call him husband, really. I'll just be like, all right, buddy, friend, dude. Like even in my phone, I have it as that guy I married.
Nice.
Yeah. Because in case anybody like needs my phone for whatever reason, and I'm like, call John, because I would never say I cannot say husband. 20 years, and it still sounds very weird to me. So
I haven't accepted it yet.
No, I'm in denial. 4 kids, and I'm still in denial.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because you're just kind of like, dude, really, man? Come on.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
No, but that's good though. I mean, it sounds like you guys have a fun relationship, and you guys maybe get along most days, some days, every once in a while.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when it's you're pretending.
Yeah, he's joking. That's my my little brother.
Oh.
It's funny we confuse people when we say we're brothers because he's 5'3" as well, and he's also black. So
it works. Brothers work that way.
Yeah, he's not really my brother. He's just one of my best friends.
Okay.
So he's here giving me crap.
I like it though. At least he's here supporting you.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. Marriage is weird. I do see like some couples, you can tell they're married at 5'11".
Heels on again.
And they look cute. They look like that those two are married. My husband, because he does the hunting gear and whatever, I can't. I just can't.
You're not rocking the camouflage yet?
Oh my God, no. And the thing is that I remember like he would get dressed here at the house, like in his like not his full hunting gear. I didn't know that. I thought he was in his full hunting gear, right? With all like the leaves and whatever, hoodie, jackets, and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So he was showing me a video that he took with a hunter, and I knew he had tree stands, but I did not know that they had to have harnesses.
Oh,
So,
yeah, so you don't fall out.
I don't actually know what I thought he was doing, but because of my husband, I never thought harnesses and safety. I just assumed he just shimmied up the tree and sat, right? Without any safety, because I've seen that man do many, many stupid things. So, I know, right? But I
I,
guess because
I
of the law,
I completely understand because I'm that guy who's like I need to reach 11 feet and I only have 2 6-foot ladders. I'm gonna stack them, but then I'm like we should really put goggles on while we're working with this angle grinder.
oh, don't even get me started with that because dear
So,
Lord. But so but then I guess he has to wear like more gear when he's out there, plus
yeah,
these straps. So the straps are very unflattering because they're just,
and they're very uncomfortable.
yeah. So the first time I saw him on video, and he's with his client, like the client's sitting next to me, and he's super proud of this buck that he shot, and he wants to like show me everything. Like he's like, this is a great thing, like it's a trophy, whatever, blah blah blah, so many points, right? And I was like, sure, sure,
You're so
sure.
supportive. You're such a supportive.
I'm amazing. But the as soon as the camera pans to my husband and I actually saw him for the first time in like the orange, right? It's orange, yeah, the orange and the I laughed so hard, and I mean, like, I was like, that's what you look like. I was like, people pay you and they have to see you dressed like that, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, you need to give them a refund. And I like looked at the guy and I looked at his client. I was like, he needs to refund you. I'm so sorry. This is ridiculous. I was like, what is happening? This is not a good look. You know, it was just like, we all look like that. And I was like,
Yeah. Fashion show. They're out there to kill things. They don't care what they look like. They also don't want to get shot by another hunter.
I know. I was just like, this is not. I was like, I actually don't know what I thought you would look like, but not this.
Real hunters do not look like the hunters you see on on TVs and movies. They don't look like Alan Richardson or any other Jason Momoa or anything like that. Unfortunately,
right? No. Like he took me to like Bass Pro Shop because he had to get his crossbow fixed, and we're waiting for the guy to fix it, right? So I got bored, so I just did a mini fashion show through the hunting, and because I am a child, I am that kid, right? So I just got like whatever I could find. Like there was this jacket that had like leaves coming down, so you could blend in with the bushes. And I swear to God, I had like the best time in that thing. I just had my arms out and I was like, I'm a tree, I'm a tree. like those Russian winter hats. I was like, this is phenomenal. I was like, I would never wear it, but this is so much fun. And then he had me like try on like overalls. I don't do overalls. And I was like, dear Lord. I was like, this is insane. I was like, I was like, excuse me, how much is this? We need to have a talk because if you're buying this, I get to buy a purse. This is insane. I was like, I thought hunting gear was cheap. It was like,
that's one of the many reasons why I don't hunt anymore, because it's very expensive. And I love Bass Pro Shop. I go in there and I'll spend hours in there and just look around. My girlfriend, she likes it too, but we always make our way to the guns. That's where we usually end up at the section. So, and my saying boys are stupid in the chat.
Oh wait, one of them says get her a purse. Thank you. Thank you. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that.
Yeah, poor guy.
I know. Please, he's fine.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just he's just funny because like it was something that like the hunting, I never thought he'd do or ever imagined doing. And he,
He's an
does,
Ohio boy. It's in his blood. He can't help it.
yeah, that's what he said, something around those lines. I was like, you could not. We live in Rhode Island now. But, like one day, he holds deer processing classes for veterans and first responders, right? And I knew, that there was going to be 14 deer. 14. I don't think I quite understood how it was going to go. So I went outside and he just had them like just, lined up and ready. I was like, oh, good morning.
Yeah, just strung up in the trees.
It's like our neighbors are gonna think we're crazy.
Yeah, that's if you're not familiar with the process, that is definitely quite the surprise, to say the least.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And then we find out that there's a food pantry for Chinese, and they will accept venison because it's a delicacy. So, yeah, where most food pantries cannot accept the deer, right, for whatever, but they will. And so I was like, hey, if we can help feed people, we're going to feed people.
Yeah, right. String them up as many as you want.
Yeah, I was like, because in Block Island, it's unlimited doe. So when you go out there for doe hunting, you can get as many as you want, and that's why we're able to host the classes for as many deer. Because people are like, how do you get that many deer? And I'm like, I don't know. So,
just if you got the spot and you're allowed to, I mean, shoot. You open up the season like that, nobody's gonna get hit a deer anywhere in Ohio anytime soon because they will all be gone real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, not out here. They're a problem, but no. It is a weird turn because he used to own a janitorial cleaning company, and then one day I was like, dude, I don't think you're really happy. Cleaning up after people, maybe you should go find some happiness.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting the whole, I really think I'm gonna go sit in the woods.
I'm gonna go. Dress like an idiot, according to you.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing too, because like where we live in Rhode Island, it's a pretty bougie town. So it's a lot of professionals here, doctors, professors.
You guys are the sneakers.
Yeah, like it's a quiet little town, but it's very much that. We're 10 miles from Providence and all the universities. So many of the people here are like just super smart and all these things. And then when we go to the school for any of our like kids things, people are like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a substitute and my husband's a hunter. And then it's like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm head of cancer research at la la la, or I am a professor at Brown University. And I'm like, yeah, I totally feel you on that. Like, I think somebody was like talking like one of those like political analysts for like CNN. Like they would just pop on every once in a while. Like, and we have our analyst. I was like, I don't like to watch the news. I'll read the news, but I don't want to watch the news.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah, and the best part is that I'm not even gonna lie. I read the Daily Mail, the British news, because I'm not gonna lie, they have an American edition. You have to check this out because the Daily Mail, the American like side of it, highlights all of things that are happening in America, and they love finding these really random small town stories, and um, and at least once a week there is a story, because I don't know who picks these stories and decides to put them on their site, but it is always female teacher
Yep.
with a student. They never run a story about a male teacher. I have yet to like really see one about a male teacher, but it's always young. They're usually in their 20s. And I'm like, who's getting paid at the Daily Mail to scour the U.S. news for female young teachers?
Just banging students.
Yeah, and they really don't like Meghan and Harry. They don't.
Yeah.
They done every day. They have some article trashing them. And it's really funny because like you don't see it anywhere else in American news, but it's there.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. Now we used to do a show here on the network called "What the Fuck News," and it was just those stories that made you basically say "What the fuck" or made you laugh or
Right. Yeah.
people. And Daily Mail was a good one to find story like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the Daily, it's amazing because like every day I'll go on there and I'm like, oh, like it's so random.
Yeah.
It's so random. But okay, so I see. Oh, where can you find me? So I'm on Facebook and I'm on Insta. Can I type it in?
You got your Facebook there, but yeah, you're.
Yeah, I'll just.
I got my girlfriend / producer working on your Instagram right now. She'll throw it in the chat. She's got your Facebook in there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can do that. I love that. The girlfriend. She's good. My husband is in New York right now at the I don't even know, at the high fence place. I'm still trying to figure out like what to call it. For the longest time, he had to tell me to quit calling him the tour guide. He's like, I'm not a tour guide. He's like, I'm a hunter. Like, I'm not touring anybody. He's like, we're going out to kill the deer and turkey. I was like, right. I knew that. I do know that. I'm not, I just find it funnier when I say tour guide. Because you're out on a farm and you are giving a tour of what's out there. He's like, he's like, I can't take you anywhere. I was like, probably
not. So I'm assuming your comedy. Are you more of a storyteller, or do you like to do the? Because I mean, being a teacher and your husband and his escapades and having 4 kids of your own, probably got a lot of content.
Yeah, so I typically am more of a storyteller. A lot of it is based on real life, but it is comedy, so you gotta stretch it a bit.
Exaggerate a little bit.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't stretch it at all. Sometimes it's straight up the truth, because really life is funny. Life is so much funnier than what you can make up, and I just find that how you view life in general, you can find humor in anything. So it's one of those things where my husband was a patient at Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda for 2 years, and at the time when we went there, my son was like 2 years old and he was a runner. We always had to say walking feet, practice walking feet. And sometimes he would just run down the halls, and I would just be like, somebody stop him, right? Because I wasn't fast enough to chase a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But Walter Reed was catastrophic injuries, and my husband is not catastrophic he's not an amputee or or that way, but there are a lot at the time. There were a lot of amputees, so sometimes it would be their prosthetic arms or legs that would just stop him. It would just, like, and I was like, and what boy doesn't like robots, So,
And kids at that age, and some adults, I'm an example of that. There's no filter between the brain and mouth. It's just the very first thought comes out.
Yeah, and I mean, like, my son would be like, "Are you a robot?" And sometimes they don't know what to say, and I was like, "Be honest with them. Tell them how you got injured, because if you don't get comfortable, you got to be." But yeah, and he'd ask for their legs or their arms because he was like, "I want one," and I was like, "Oh no." I was like, no. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's like a $20,000 leg.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Let's not touch the leg, okay? No touching of the leg. And like one of the guys tried to like trade his arm for one of my son's match cars. One night, he was also, the guy was drunk. He was very, very drunk. Not my 2-year-old, but he was literally.
Wait, your 2-year-old was really drunk?
Right, he was literally getting ready to he was in the process of taking his arm off, and I was like, "You better put your arm back on, or I swear to God, I'm gonna hit you with it."
Yeah. How do you explain to your family and friends that your son now has a prosthetic?
I was like, "What are you gonna tell your doc when you show up and say, Doc, I traded my arm for this 99-cent match car?"
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do a lot of storytelling. My stand-up is usually, just fill in the crowd first, because you don't know,
Yeah.
like who's going to really be there, what they get into. Obviously, I do talk a lot about marriage and kids and work, being Asian American, just how crazy it is. There's this trend that I saw where when you're mixed like myself, people always ask, "What are you?" Right? Like, they're like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm American." No. Like, are you? And I'm like, oh, right. So I'm just like, okay, I'm Japanese and American. They're like, "Oh my God, are you really?" And I was like,
really not that far-fetched.
And I understand the hair is jacking you up because you probably thought I was like Mexican or Puerto Rican. And I was like, and I'm not going to lie, I have gotten into an argument with a Puerto Rican about not being Puerto Rican.
Oh, Jesus.
Because literally the guy started speaking to me in Spanish. I was like, "I don't know any Spanish. I'm so sorry. I don't know. The only Spanish I know is what I learned from Dora. Hola, abre, and swiper, no swipey." I was like, that is it. That's it. And if I straighten my hair, I will look like Dora. So it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm going to look.
Look Hispanic.
Which is fine. Because if I can get some free guacamole and chips and salsa out of this, I will be forever grateful. I live on that. So I'm just like, okay, I have to jump on this trend, and the trend is you are going to tell people what you are based on the food, right, of where your parents are from. So I was like, I love this. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'll just do sushi. Everybody knows what sushi is, so you're going to know that I'm Japanese. Because if I said any other Japanese dish, most people would never even know what it is, right? If I said I was okonomiyaki, katsudon, any of that, they don't know. Tamago, nothing, right? None of that registered with you. Just sushi.
Just sushi. I don't know what it is. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Maybe ramen.
If you can't tell, I enjoy to eat. I enjoy eating, but I also like to try different things. I'm very adventurous when I eat. So I've probably eaten some weird shit that was Japanese, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Well, if it was raw fish, that's Japanese.
Yeah.
But then, like, and then I think, like, with being American, it's so broad because now they want to know where.
Yeah.
Where in America? So I was like, well, if you're from New England, you get to say your lobster. If you're from down south, maybe barbecue. Texas, it's Tex-Mex. But I was like, but unfortunately, my dad's from Ohio. Ohio's not known for anything. Maybe that chili from Cincinnati or whatever. But
Yeah.
but that's only in Ohio. So I was like, he's just white corn.
Corn.
Just white corn. So I'm just sushi white corn. That's my fusion.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, I wouldn't know what to say. And that trend, burgers, steak, I don't know. I don't even know what I am. I mean, everybody calls me a Sasquatch, but like, I don't know what my background is. I'm just a big animal, big dumb animal, like I said. So I wouldn't even know where to begin with that trend.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's like I know like my dad's background is like German and English, and my mom is 100% Japanese, and I know this because she did the 23andMe test. Not my dad.
Yeah,
my dad never did it. Just my mom, and this is the whole reason. She wanted to know if she was Russian. Yeah, she thought that she
was Russian.
Yeah, because she thought she had a longer face. Her nose was a little bit longer. She just didn't realize that there is a gene that actually is a little more Western looking, white Caucasian in the Asian genes.
Mm-hmm.
And she is of that gene, right? So, but I love her. She's crazy. But so she gets her test back, and I have never seen anybody upset. Right? Most people are like, I didn't know that. I'm Alsace-Lorraine.
Yeah.
Where's Alsace-Lorraine at? That's France, by the way, but like it's French. So, my mom was like, I'm not Russian. I was like, no. I was like, the only foreign blood that you have is us. It's us. We are the foreigners, right? Like you are the first to give birth to foreigners, Mom. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Broke the cycle.
Yeah.
She was like, what? But secretly, I was sad. I was sad because I wanted to be a little Russian myself. Because with my dad's side being German, being Japanese, and then if I could have claimed Russian, I really would have been like a true axis of evil. I could have been all of it.
Let's see. 3 countries that.
Plus, being an American on top of that.
Yeah. Game over.
Because everybody's like, oh yeah, Germans are bad, Russians are bad, Japanese are bad. But then when I add American, I'm like, hello, like, are we not like, we just took a bunch of people living here and just,
Exactly. See ya.
Put them on a reservation and, all of the things that we like to do. Oh.
This is ours.
Yeah. I put a flag on it. I licked it. It's mine.
Yeah.
So like I did. I was disappointed. But then like I married my husband and I find out he's Italian. So my kids are axis of evil. And I am.
Now you got it. Now you've got the
trick. I did it. Because I was like, you're German, Italian, and Japanese. But his dad's side, they were Yugoslavian, and I did not take my husband's last name. Green is my maiden name, married, right? Because I just want to put this out here, right? My husband's last name was Wren, and that's fine. Like, you're thinking, oh, what's wrong with Ren, like the bird?
Yeah.
Right? No, it's not. It's not the bird. It's Hren because it's Yugoslavian. I don't actually even know how to pronounce it properly
Oh, jeez.
because I don't think anybody did. Because I think when they came over, they were just like, "What is this?" And so the H is silent. Who has a silent H? I don't know. I don't know. So it's Hren. That's how you say it. So like when I met him, people would be like Haren or like Atren. Just trying to figure out how to get this H in the rest of the name, right?
Yeah.
But then I Googled what Ren meant in Yugoslavian. It means radish farmer. So not only does it have a weird spelling, which I was like, I'm not going to go through the rest of my life trying to explain to people that no, it's not the cute bird, but it's a radish farmer with a silent H. Like this is not a good thing for me. I was like, I'm going to stick with green because the meaning for green is people who lived or laid about the village green. And if that means lazy, however you want to interpret that, I am for that.
I will take it.
Hands up, that's me.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not doing red. I was like, no. Mm-mm.
Well, for selfish reasons, I'm glad that you stuck with green because I am notorious at butchering people's last names.
Oh.
And I've reached a point where there's a very small part of me that feels bad, but also there's an even bigger part of me that's like, just have a normal name. Don't make it so hard to pronounce.
Yeah. I know. Like the Greek last names, forget it. I can't. I don't even know how to say it. I just am like, I love your name. That's all I can say.
I've had guests on here, Hispanic guests and Italian guests, and I just completely look. I'm an idiot, and on a daily basis, I brutalize the English language.
Yeah.
So I've just Americanized your name, and I've sounded it out in the way that in my head that it sounds is exactly how I'm saying it when I open the show. Even if you tell me 4 times before the show how to pronounce it, I'm still gonna fuck it up. Yeah. And that's just how it's going to be.
But that's the American way.
Yeah. It's my way or no way.
If you didn't say it the wrong way, are you really being an American?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, do like my family did. And yeah, our name is still, people still screw it up, but dumb it down. Because my original name for when my family was I do know the German side of my family, it was Gluckenstein or Gluckenstein. Oh. And then they shortened it down to Gluck, and then they came to America and it became Glick. And it's just like
yeah, just do that. I think my grandmother's maiden name was Fair, and that was German, but it was like FEHR or FA something like the German spelling, and then at some point they changed it to the American FAIR. So you gotta do what you gotta do, because my dad said that he was like, I would have taken your mom's last name. I was like, oh, you would have, would you? Yeah. He was like, but there was a problem. I could not say, and this is how you say my mom's last name, Shimomura. So he couldn't say that. It was like Shimomura. Which is cute because my mom still married my dad, even though she couldn't really say his first name for a long time because his first name was Ralph. And ours in Japanese are all L's. So it's Ralph.
H's are R's.
Yeah. So
and R's. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's funny because you're just kind of like, but you married dad and you couldn't really say his name. I was like, and then Goodine. But it's cute too because like she would call my brother's friend. His name was Clarence, which is fine, except she would call him Clarence.
Nice.
So we just got in the habit of calling him Clarence also.
It's a nickname that he's stuck with now.
Yeah, it just worked better. It just worked
Mhm.
better, you know. And then like, you know, she would just mix things up, and I grew up with her making Italian food.
Oh,
And when
jeez.
I say Italian, it was just spaghetti
Yeah.
and, and sometimes lasagna. But for her marinara sauce, she would always add brown sugar and soy sauce. You
That's
know,
a nice
make
combination.
yeah, and maybe some sake. So, but her lasagna, she would add cottage cheese and mozzarella, right? But that's how I grew up eating it. I did not know any different, right? I didn't.
Yeah.
So, how am I supposed to know that cottage cheese doesn't belong in lasagna? I found out when I moved out and got married, and I actually looked up the recipe for lasagna and went, "Where's the cottage cheese?"
Yeah.
And my husband was like, "Cottage cheese?" I was like, "For the lasagna." He's like, "Nobody puts cottage cheese in lasagna." And I'm like, "My mom does." And I think what ended up happening is that cottage cheese and like ricotta, like
Nah, I confused her.
I think I think it got like a little. But you know what? We ate it and we got extra protein growing up. So, and now it's the thing. Cottage cheese, you got to add it to all of the things.
Yeah, you got to put it in everything.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not bad. Like I still make it that way. So
I was gonna say, I think I remember growing up and mom putting cottage cheese in her lasagna, but I didn't know any better until I had a friend of mine who in high school who was 100% Italian. Like his great grandparents came over, and then they were and the first time I went to Sunday dinner, and it was just like, oh, what is this magical delicious food that doesn't taste like mom's lasagna or spaghetti, or I didn't know that they got up at 6 o'clock in the morning and started making the sauce for spaghetti, and it cooked all day. So
yeah, that's it. I mean, because like Rhode Island, there's so many Italians here.
mhm.
Like Providence
There's
is
a
known for its mafia, and
yeah.
so like there's so many good Italian restaurants that I'm like, this is not what I grew up on. But
This is
then,
fake Italian. This isn't real. Japanese mom told me so.
because like even like our sauce is darker, right? Because of the soy sauce, so it's like it just doesn't even look the
Cottage
same.
cheese, yeah, yeah. No, you didn't argue with an actual full-blooded Italian, telling them that their food's wrong because that's not how your mom made it.
Wait, but he's saying you mix cottage cheese, ricotta, and egg.
Cottage cheese, ricotta, and eggs.
So so my mom would mix the cottage cheese with mozzarella cheese and eggs. She just missed the ricotta altogether.
It's just completely. Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
she
know
wants
if it just looked the same, because like my mom was really big into just like, she would buy coffee based on the color of the can, right? But then she'd accidentally buy like decaf because like she wasn't paying attention when they like changed.
Oh no, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I mean, I have drank coffee on the occasion, and I know how disappointing that would be to get up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and it's just decaf.
Right. Oh my
Like,
gosh, I have to have I'm like a toddler. I really am. Like the latte is my serving of milk. Like I even expect because like one of my students asked me like, why do you drink so much coffee? And I was like, well, why do you drink your chocolate milk? I was like,
yeah,
because lattes have a full serving cup of milk, and you're drinking your chocolate milk. It's the same thing. It's just I have to have a shot of espresso.
yeah.
You
No,
know?
I had to go out and buy a Keurig or whatever because my daughters drink coffee. Now there's only one person in my house, and I have this stupid Keurig because God forbid they have a coffee pot. You know,
So I have a full bar setup, like a coffee bar. I have the espresso machine, the
my girls.
grinder.
Well, they just had the Keurig, but then they had all the specialty crap to make
Right.
their. I don't know what any of it is. It seems like a lot of work
Yeah.
and not. worth it. I just grab a Pepsi and go.
No, I'm so bad. I have my coffee shipped for me, believe it or not, from Columbus, Ohio, every month from
Hey,
Crimson Cup. Yeah, if you're in Columbus, Crimson Cup, I love that place. They do have other things besides coffee, but
I don't know if I've ever heard of them,
hmm
in all honesty. But I don't look for coffee shops, so there's.
I ruined his train of his thinking about me.
You're like a toddler.
I do. I have to have my coffee, my naps, and my snackies. So sorry.
No, minus the coffee. You and my girlfriend have some stuff in common.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't have my nap in every day, I'm not a good mom. I can't do the things. I can't do the things. Even my kids, like they'll come home because I get home before my high schoolers do, and they're like, "Is she sleeping?" Of course, of course. Like like it's a thing. But I didn't mean to ruin your nightly activity. My bad. But again, I'm a wife, so that's what we do.
Sorry. Check that off on your things.
I know. Yeah, like.
No nap makes you a bag.
Listen, if I didn't have the nap, I would not be able to do anything after 7.
God, I would love to take midday naps. I came home from work and sat down this evening, and my girlfriend was like, "What is wrong?" I'm just tired. Yeah. She's like, "Is there anything I can do? Win the lottery, so I don't have to get up and go to work in the morning. That would be great."
Right? Yeah. I know. Oh, I'm redeeming myself now. Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to mess that up in a minute anyway.
Yeah, no. So, do you have any upcoming shows or anything that
not
you're working on?
Booked any. I just did a show last Sunday at Comedy Connection here in Providence, but I haven't booked anything because we are in the home stretch for school. Unfortunately, Rhode Island goes to school till June.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
To the middle of June. And with my kids, it's hard to...
Yeah. Can't you kids fend for yourself? Mama wants to tell you.
So, yeah. So, I'm getting ready to start booking stuff for the summer when I have time, because it's just like insane to try to fit 4 kids plus myself, and then whenever my husband, I guess, decides to pop in and out from his adventures and things like that. So I love the fact that he leaves a calendar, like a dry erase calendar. And he's like, "This is my schedule. Like, I'm gonna look at that."
Yeah, my son does the dry erase calendar here, and he puts like birthdays and holidays and school events or whatever. And I'm like, Cash, I never look at that. I forget it's there half the time. Mm-hmm. But it's his thing. He loves to do it, so I let him.
He put it right next to the front door.
No, perfect spot. Yeah. Ours are.
But I feel like this is the same thing. He's doing that to me like I did to him. I went to one of those board signing places, like where you make your own boards. You know what I'm talking about? Like paint a board or whatever. So I had painted a board, and it had all of our kids, their full name and their birth date. Nice. And I gave it to him. And I set it right next to his work computer. Nice. Because, he won't get a tattoo of the kids' birthdays, which I have suggested multiple times. I was like, just
just bang right there, right on you.
I'm just tired. These are your children. You watch them come out of me. Like,
you were there.
You were, yeah. And just the fact that he's like, what's What's number two's birthday? Like, we don't even call our kids by names anymore because once you go past 3 and you have too many that are unacceptable for society, you just call them by numbers. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
And we have to do roll call in the car because might have been that we have left a kid at home and drove off without them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens. They're fine.
I just call it the Home Alone moment, and we just move on. We move past it, and it's okay because in the movie everything worked out.
Yeah, but did you die? You die? That's no.
No, I'm not honest.
I remember the kids' birthdays. I have that locked in. I just can never remember what year they were born. Yeah. So I always have to ask them. I'm like, if I'm filling something out or doing something, I'm like, what year were you born? Mm-hmm. I can't remember that. Birthdays, I'm good with. Names, sometimes I have 3 kids, but sometimes I start to talk to one or about one or try to get one's attention, and I say 4 or 5 different names. But I think that's just an old age.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I mean, I have 3 boys and 1 girl. They all get called every name.
You're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would have much rather had 2 boys, and if I had to have a girl, 2 boys and a girl. Girls are. I told you at the beginning of the show. I did not have any gray until about 7 years ago.
See, my daughter is into math and science. Like, that's her jam. She wants to do something quantum stuff, blah blah. I don't even know. She's that smart, but I know that I would never be able to get a job from NASA Force. I saw NASA Force is hiring. I want to apply so badly, and I realized I couldn't even get a job at the gift shop because I'm not smart enough to explain what a toy does. Especially the kid's like, how do you solve this Rubik's Cube? And my response would be, take the stickers off.
Yeah, take stickers off. Mm-hmm.
And then there's my daughter who can solve the Rubik's Cube. So it's just, I can't.
Yeah. My oldest was social butterfly and boy crazy. And I couldn't keep up with who they weren't mad at and who they were mad at, and all the drama. And my middle one, I'm just afraid she's going to become a serial killer. I guess best case scenario, she becomes a serial killer. I don't know. My son's like, he's cool. He's good. I don't know what's going to happen, but he's good.
Yeah. You can only hope, right? You're just kind of like, this one's good, this one's all right, that one was questionable, and the last one is,
If I can get him to adulthood and moved out, my job is done. That's successful.
Yeah. So I told her, I was like, listen, when you finish your bachelor's, you have the option. You can come home and help finish raising your brothers, or you can get a master's. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and if you choose the master's, and when you get that after 2 years, you can come home, finish that year left with your youngest brother, because one, he's going to have to learn how to drive. You will be of age and long enough to have a driving permit or a license that you could teach him, because at that point I'll probably be done wanting to teach boys to drive. Or you can go on for a doctorate. I was like, your choice.
Yeah.
No pressure. Come home and help raise your brother, or get a doctorate degree. And oddly enough, she said she'd rather go for a doctorate degree than come home and help finish raising her youngest baby brother his senior year in high school. And I thought that was rude.
Yeah, that's so rude. How dare you? How dare you?
I think most parents would be like, oh my God, my kid's going to be a doctor. And I'm all like, you need to help me with this.
I'm done. Mm-hmm. I already did 2 of them. Little monsters.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's I just went. I've been going through the teaching my middle one how to drive. My oldest one, she has no desire to drive. 21 years old and has no desire to drive. I told her, I said, people are going to eventually stop giving you rides everywhere.
Yeah.
My middle one, she's actually got to go next week, I guess, to do her driver's test. Fingers crossed, because that'll make my life so much easier, because then she gets to be a taxi for her little brother.
Yes. Exactly. I'm in the same boat. My daughter's finishing up getting her license, and I'm just like, I cannot wait to pass the keys of the minivan to you.
Yes.
You know, I was like, we'll go over the rules again, but remember, curbs are meant to be hit, not the people. And, you know, and don't worry, the minivan already has a lot of dings and scratches. It's okay, because that's what minivans are built for.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, she's already got her own car and everything like that. So I'm like, get your license so I can release you to the world.
Yeah, I just want a Mazda Miata. I just want a little 2-seater. And my daughter points out that I have 4 kids. Not my problem.
Yeah, it sounds like a them problem. Don't make your problems my problems.
It's like, and that's why you will have the minivan.
Yeah. I am looking at getting a pickup truck, and my girlfriend keeps reminding me, we have to make sure there's room for the kids. Oh.
I know, right? My husband has, I don't know, a Dodge Ram, like the big one, 1500, I think. And it's got the 3-passenger bench in the front.
Yeah.
So, like, my youngest gets to sit there because he's the smallest still. He's just like, this is the best car. And I told my husband, I was like, what the hell is the point of a Dodge Ram if you're not allowed to hit people in traffic? It says Ram for a reason.
Yep, Ram.
I should legally be able to hit people. He's like, you cannot hit people in the truck. I was like, well, then go get a different truck that doesn't say Ram, because I really want to hit people.
You can't dodge it, ram it.
I know, right? Like, I also think that Asians, you know, you don't see many Asians driving trucks anyway. I'm highly against Asians driving trucks, unless they're the cute little ones. So I am.
Well, I was going to say, how can you drive that truck and reach the pedal and see over the steering wheel all at the same time?
I can't. I swear to God, I had to drive it like last week for something, and I was on the phone bitching and complaining to him that I can't see past the hood. I couldn't. I was like, I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, you know.
Yeah, you just got to do what you can.
Yeah. I was like, I will try.
There's your excuse. If you run into something, I can't see.
You know, I need a bumper sticker, you know, Asian woman driver. Sorry, my bad.
It's 2 strikes. You're there right off the bat.
And like, I just want to get a photo of me doing this. Like, the most Japanese thing you could imagine is like, you know, just be like, my God.
That would be great.
Because he doesn't appreciate it.
He's just over it. He's like, whatever.
Yeah, I told my daughter, I was like, you know, people, you know, they see like the student bumper sticker, like driver, and I was like, but I also need just to make one that says, "Mom is Asian."
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah,
like, it's not going to be good.
I refuse to put that sticker on my car.
Oh my God.
That teen driver, please be patient, teen driver.
I put it on my husband's truck.
I told my ex-wife to put it on her car.
Yeah.
On my car.
I put it on his truck and I drove it. I drove the truck, but because I'm so small, I do look like a teenager that high up in there. So, and I was a bad driver in that truck. So I was like, I'm going to put the student driver stickers all over the truck, so people just assume I'm a new driver. Yeah. And that explains why you need to have clearance of 100 feet.
Stay away.
It's like, I mean, I'm so tiny. I'm just like, you know, like I had these guys in a different truck, but just as big as mine, drive past, and they're like looking at me, and I'm like, yes, I can see. Because I don't know if they were questioning whether or not there was a person even driving. Because they couldn't see my head.
Some of them self-driving trucks.
I know. It's like I didn't know Dodge had one of those yet.
Yeah, no, that is awesome.
You know?
Well, I don't want to keep you too late.
Yeah. Oh no, it's like 10 already, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it flies by. I know a lot of people are like 2 hour show. Really? I'm like, trust me, you won't even realize it. But I do want to say thank you for coming on here. I never know what I'm gonna get. With guests because it's most of our interaction is strictly through text, and then I send the link a little bit early. That way, I do that for a couple reasons. So you make sure everything's good on your end, but then we can have a little banter backstage, so it's not like a cold intro. You're like, oh god, what is this goofball doing? But no, it was I enjoyed it. Kind of like I said, it just flew by.
Yeah. No, it's so cool.
I always down the road. I always try to bring my guests back. So I'm sure we'll chat again in the future. And moving forward, if there's anything we can do, if you got a show coming up or anything like that, or just don't be a stranger. Feel free to reach out and say, hey, I got this coming up, because believe it or not, we have people that listen from all over the place, and which still blows my mind, the amount of people that actually do listen to this stuff. But so we can always help you promote shows or gigs or whatever you got coming up. Just don't be a stranger.
Yeah, no, that would be great. If anybody's out in Rhode Island, we are a really small state. It literally takes less than an hour to get through it. So it's not too bad. I know they make booster seats.
And some spots of Rhode Island are pretty. I've been up to Providence when I was younger, and it was very nice. But it was also beginning of May, end of June, end of May, beginning of June, and it was cold.
Yep.
Which was unnecessary.
Yeah. That's, again, we talked about that at the beginning, why people in New England are rude. It's based on the weather.
Yeah, it was cold. It was unnecessary. So,
yeah.
But
yeah, it'll definitely be. I'd wait until like maybe August if you want warmer weather.
We're already dying here in Ohio in August. It's 3,000 degrees and the humidity's at 10,000%, and we're begging for winter to come back. We survived July and August. I lived down south for 10 years, and I was never as miserable in the summertime as I was here.
Yeah. We lived down south. We lived in Tennessee and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, there is something miserable about Ohio. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's so weird.
There's something here. So one of the things, and I know this is kind of cheesy and a little goofy, but it's just something that I like to do. I always ask my guests before we end up or in the show, professional or career-wise, comedy-wise, and in life, just if you got two pieces of advice, or if you can combine one, what's your advice for anybody thinking about going into comedy or just dealing with day-to-day bullshit of life?
Man, if you're thinking about comedy, do it. Like, if you think it, just do it. Try it. Take a class. Don't take a class. Go to an open mic. See how miserable open mics really are.
I love open mics as a fan.
They are.
Love it.
Like, that's the best part about it too, is like, we all hate doing it, but we all love doing it. Like, it's meeting people from every background, because that's the best part about comedy. We all have different backgrounds, but the thing that brings us together is laughter, right? Mm-hmm. And I love that laughing can bring anybody together, and it breaks down barriers so much faster than anything else, right? Like, if you can make somebody laugh, then they're comfortable with you, like a genuine laugh, right? Like, and I have found through my life that comedy has helped, and making people laugh has helped. Just in my life, dealing with my husband being a disabled vet, everybody's like, oh no, and I'm like, that's fine, he's broken. It's okay.
All right.
The military has a policy, they break it, I have to buy it. And, they didn't quite explain that part when we got
Yeah.
married, or like even when he joined. They never said anything about the
It was in the
broken
fine print.
policy.
It was in the very fine print that we don't
Yes,
read.
yes, but it's somewhere in there where they break it, we have to buy it. So, but yeah, so I joke about uh, just you know when it's really hard and it's laughter really does
Mhm.
make it better, right? Like it will get you through. And
Yeah.
some people are like, I can't believe you would joke about that. And I'm like, or how can you joke when you're that sad about something? I was like, because if you can't laugh, then what's
Yeah.
what's the
It's
point?
just
You
gonna be
know?
miserable.
Yeah, and I mean, like I honestly, have given myself like the gesture title of school. I go in every day. Nobody knows how bad of a day I might be having or what I've
Mhm.
been dealing with, right? Because I don't want them to. I
Yeah.
don't want anybody to know that my life might be really rough. But what I do want to do is be able to go into work and make people laugh.
Yeah.
Just to walk into a classroom and I know that like the teacher might be having like a really stressful moment or whatever, but I just want to make them laugh and give them just that moment of like just happy. You know what I mean? Like a break from whatever. And I
Mhm.
find like when you can find those people, your people, it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
And so I really think comedy's for anybody, and you don't have to have the talent. Like everybody's like, oh, it's talented. No, but you can learn it
Mhm.
also. You know?
That's what's great about the open mics. You
Yes,
get up and you can learn your timing, learn your what jokes do and don't work, and I mean it's trial by fire at the end of the day, but you're still doing it. You
yes.
know.
And like the best part is your coworkers become your unofficial like lab rats. Right? Like you're like they don't know that I'm testing a bit out, but I'm gonna test a bit out. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
like it's just
100.
gonna sound like a conversation, but I'm testing a bit.
Yeah.
And I do
Congratulations.
it to my husband out in public all the time. I like the whole tick his butt. Like I just tested out. He's standing there right next to me. I was like, I might as well, because when I get up on stage, nobody's gonna be able to see your butt.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, John, stand up, turn
Yeah.
around.
Show everybody your ass.
That would be fun, but I mean, he'd probably do it. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I mean. If you even just ever had, oh, I wish I, if it's a wish or a think, do it. Just do it.
Amen to that.
You
That
know.
sounds like I tell everybody, don't talk about it, be about it.
Yep. Because you don't know what you're gonna get out of it.
Mhm.
You really don't. Because you may have just found a new passion, or you may have found a new place to just hang out, even if you don't want to do comedy. You just want to see people get up and tell jokes and bomb and
Mhm.
try again, like
Yeah, exactly.
so like it's the best learning ground, and it's just a really fun, cool thing to do. And it's original. So, it's you.
Mhm. Original and genuine at the end of the day, and as far as being an entertainer, however you want to spin it, whether it's comedy, music, even this goofy shit I do here, the more authentic and the more genuine and more real you are, the more people are going to relate. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yep. So that's my two bits right there, is just do it and have fun and find something to laugh at every day. It doesn't matter what it is, but there's always something. You
Kids
know,
getting hurt if you need help. That's always hilarious.
I can't like when I'm PE teacher, when I get to be PE, I'm not gonna lie. We can't play dodgeball anymore, but
Yeah.
there are games that involve like the soft foamy balls, and I got to throw them back into the game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that a kid got hit in the head. I'm not.
It happens.
It does, and now we get to teach pickleball. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because I am taller than those kids, I'm just saying.
For now. Pink.
There's benefits to being a substitute. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Same rules and guidelines do not apply.
They do not. They do not. So
Again, thank you so
yeah.
much. It's been great getting to talk to you, getting to know a little bit about you. Like I said, definitely down the road, more than likely be having you back up again as soon as. Shout out to all the comedians out there. Thank you guys, because I didn't know how this show was going to go. This was just a serious ADHD moment, and I was like, I'm going to do a new show, and this is what I'm going to do. And you guys are beating my door down to be on this show, and I love it. I mean, I don't know if that's just to feed your own egos or what it is, but shout out to all the comedians out there that are willing to come on here and hang out with me. I love it. But to you, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, don't be a stranger. You guys, we got her links here in the chat. You give her again. We got Facebook right there, and Instagram, and of course, she's tagged on all of our posts on social media. So make sure you guys go give her a follow, give her a like, and if you're in the area and you see she's doing a show, go check her out.
Yeah, come see me in Rhode Island.
Yeah, beautiful cold Rhode Island.
Yeah. Weather's miserable, but we have coffee milk and lobster rolls, so we're fine.
There you go. I'm going to do my spiel. You're welcome to drop down and back out. I got to do my closing spiel, and I'm going to get the hell out of here too.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yep, have a good one. All right. But you couldn't get in. Right. No, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out. Chattersbox, you guys are awesome as always. Tune in tomorrow night. Wally has Phillips. First name, I don't know. It escapes me right now. Sorry, Wally. Wally does have a guest tomorrow night on Speedway Stories. They'll be talking motorsports, rough trucks, tractor pulls, something. I have no idea. But Josh Phillips, there we go. I had the last name right. Check out the rest of the shows. Wally will be back Friday. The guys are going to be in the garage chit-chatting, and of course Saturday night. The doors are open. You guys are all welcome to jump up on the panels for Nonsensical, hanging out, doing our normal Saturday night bullshit and shenanigans. Again, shout out and thank you to Naomi Green. You guys go check her out. She was awesome. It was definitely fun chatting with her. And great thing about these shows is we just go where the conversation goes at the end of the night. So like, share, subscribe, bio.link/nonsensical nonsense. Thanks for watching Glick's Comedy Lounge. And remember to laugh loud and stay nonsensical, you heathens. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to leave the show with a little Jules and the how. We'll see you guys next week.
Na 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 na.